man. This is stressful.
Welcome to the Fantasy Trail with JT, Mike, and Matt. Put your team on our back. It starts now. The Fantasy Trail. Welcome to the Fantasy Trail. It's our 10th year Fantasy Trail. I'ma say it loud and clear. Fantasy Trail. Welcome. Let's go. It's Fantasy Trail. You know the flow. League rules, got advice for people all around the globe. I know you need it, we got it. We'll talk about players on all the teams, all the players. We'll talk about them. Eagles, Bills, Vikings, Cowboys, Browns, Panthers, everybody. Welcome to the Fantasy.
And welcome to the Fantasy Trail. Season 10, episode 15. I'm Matt, along with JT and Mike.
Nice to see everyone here.
And I just want to say, welcome to the playoffs. I'm just waving from the corner.
Well, now hold on here, Matt. Hold on here. We have some things to discuss with you where I think that you got a little bit here. You didn't win the game of the week.
Nope.
No. But something that's good did happen for you, Matt. What happened this week with you? Are we going to wait till we get to the matchups?
We can wait for the matchups. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we haven't really talked about this. How do we want to do this, gentlemen? I mean, quick recap of the week, or do we want to go in a little bit more detail?
So here's what I was thinking, and feel free to adjust as needed. I have two big documents pulled up. I have the one that was the live updating one that will run down exactly what happened and why people ended up where they were. I think if we hit that real quick, either before or after the quick rundown of the week, it will make the most sense because a lot of the matchups, the wins didn't matter.
Yeah.
So it's like looking at who won the game, it's kind of, pointless. And then we can eventually get to the playoff talk. But if you want me to bring that up, I can bring that up, and that can be kind of our starting point.
I think that's a fine idea, Jay.
Sounds good.
I had a lot of fun updating this as I went. Tamala, you'll be the first to agree here, but it obviously is a lot more fun when you're in on it. And if I were somebody that was a little further down, I probably would have been a little more likely to be updating less frequently. Sorry for the sneeze there. I have color coded it here for anybody that hadn't had a chance to see it before, with buys being green, making the playoffs via wins being orange, via points being yellow, and then out being red. You can see the outcome possibility with the finality of what they actually got. Their initial points, the points that week, and then their total. There's a lot to be gleaned from this, but I think the biggest ones were who did not make the playoffs or who did not fall.
Okay.
It's really, really interesting to kind of just see some collapses that got, they put a little patch over the well that was about to explode, and then other ones that are starting to just collapse. Mike, you and I were talking about that with you.
We've had a discussion about this.
Yep.
Team is absolutely like a nightmarish collapse right now. I have the worst squad in the league. I might be in the playoffs, but I'm telling you right now, like I think I have the weakest team in the league.
Oh, I think that's a bit of a stretch. But
okay.
Casey was an interesting one because, Mike, you were worried, oh, my gosh, is he going to throw it? Is he not going to care? I think he did.
He did.
I think he cared. I think he tried. He put up 146. He actually and not 146. He put up like a 150. He beat Colin. Colin was up or was down by just a few points. Now, thankfully, he didn't need the win because he was down by just a few points and had two players on Monday night, including Jalen Hurts, and somehow did not get enough to get the win. An astounding turn of events for Colin there. Really, really strange one. I think Casey ended up getting the 5 points for the defense, so he ended up with a 155. Real interesting for Colin because it was the points that ended up mattering. It's a good thing he didn't need the win. Because
and the Jalen Hurts situation on his team is just, I mean, when you look at it, I'm sorry, Matt, but like, dude, what's going on here?
I mean,
Four
I
points
wrote
on one
it
play.
off as a win. I wrote it off as a win. I said he's got it. He's down by 4 points, and he's got the Eagles defense against the Chargers, or Eagles quarterback against the Chargers. Eagles QB put up 0.4. 0.4. Crazy.
5 turnovers will do that to you.
That will do that. That one stat, and I know you were watching, but that one stat, first time since they've started keeping track that a guy turned it over twice in one play. And what made it even more fascinating, like if this game mattered, I just hope the fantasy league knows how insane that play would have been. Casey had the defense. So it was an 8-point play. It was -4 for Colin, +4 for Casey. That is one of the largest like swings you could have on a random play like that. That's not like a punt return or something like that. 8-point play on a turnover.
Unbelievable.
Laughably.
Unbelievable. Yep. On one play. Unreal.
Scarano, you both lost. Both of you guys lost.
Yes.
Colin at least lost with a respectable score. He ends up passing you comfortably, 56 points.
Yes,
I mean,
easily.
And you had him. You had him. Golly, you were up. By
I mean, I had 24 points on him.
Yeah, dude.
I had 24 points, and then this happens.
Yeah.
Just a nightmare, man.
And you getting your clock cleaned potentially could have impacted other things because the person that you were going against needed a win that they got. But you fell to third. So you are now out of the buys. You're going to be playing in the first round.
Yes.
Yeah. 66 points. Tomorrow.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
I have nothing to say. I don't dude. I don't know. Like, this isn't like, it's not like I made some like massive trade or any massive like pickups or all I'm saying is this is the same team who people had ranked number 1 or 2 earlier this year.
Tamala, true or false quiz. Ready? Yep. Is this the lowest score that Mike has ever scored?
I vote yes.
Yeah, I'm going to say just because you're asking, no.
Mike, you should already know the answer, man. We looked this up the other night when you were with me. You doofus.
I forgot what you said. Yes, it is.
Mike has scored 61 points back in like 2017.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'd want to know what our roster was because I don't think we had.
Without question, we had less. We definitely
had 3 flex players, man, and a kid.
Definitely had no flex. So definitely the lowest score we've seen in a while. It's almost hard. We had another buddy with us watching that Monday night game, and he said like it was almost harder to do what Mike did than it is for somebody to put up a 150. Like when you're trying to play legit players and to score this much.
Agree. I mean, like there weren't any, and this is it's just another point of clarification. And listen, you could always go and Monday morning quarterback any of it, but there were no like glaring guys who I sat out where you'd be like, oh, I can't believe you sat so-and-so. There was nothing there. It all just went to hell in a handbag. I don't know what to say, Cuzzy. I don't know what to say. Cuzzy, if I'm a betting man, the odds are in your favor.
If I were a betting man.
No, I don't care.
Betting man. What a phrase.
I pretend to gamble.
Biggest betting man I know. Mike, you're still in the playoffs, though. And that is also something we can say for the guy who's on the screen right now. He may be the sweatiest man in the playoffs after the way he got in, but he snuck his way in. And I say snuck, but the guy put up points when it counted. He put up a 148. I think that's fourth highest score in the league. It was a high scoring week for a lot of people. But that 148 gets him the W, which allows him to hold on to fourth. Couple interesting facts on that. I mean,
so Matt, you lost the game of the week, Matt.
Yeah, it's wild that Brian got it when you look at his points. As Michael Thomas wrote to me this week when we were having a discussion, I'm in 9th and I owe pizza, and I have the same number of points as the guy who's in 4th. Interesting.
All right.
You also will take a look and notice.
Actually, Michael Thomas has 0.7 points more than.
Brian. Yeah. Okay. Sure. 0.74. But with that in mind, Brian also kindly, I was saying in the chat, he came to my defense that one time when Casey was talking a little smack, like, "Oh, JT, you want to talk about it?" And he was supporting me and saying, like, "Hey, all he cares about is points." And what Brian didn't realize was that if I actually had won that matchup, I would have been the one to steal his spot because I had such a hot end that I did actually win almost every other matchup other than that stupid Casey one. And I would have stolen it, which means
and on points you would have pushed him out.
And that means Joel and Parker would have been in. So Casey truly did wreak havoc as he wants to do. But Brian's in, and he will be going against me, who also got in. And I was a little worried about maybe somebody catching me. I felt pretty safe. Once, a couple of my guys started having a really good 1 o'clock. And then it turned out I ended up with the top score. That allowed me to pass Rachel. I was only expecting really to sneak in 6th. That was my thought. But, hey, I passed her by 13, even with a great week. And that gives me the chance to avoid Mike, which I don't know. Maybe seems like
I don't know if that's a good one at all for you, man. Look at Brian's like and just to clarify, I'm on a 3-game skid. It isn't just this one game.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Rachel, also still in the playoffs, does not have to worry really. 27 points from Joel and Parker, not impossible, but would have been really tough for them to gather with just the Eagles D. She will get the matchup against you, Mike, the Cuzzy Bowl.
Yeah.
She was looking pretty good going in. She put up the 3rd lowest score. Probably not the greatest week. A couple teams, both of you guys going in, not feeling maybe at your best. Little weird.
Not feeling great at all, my friend.
Yeah, but she's in. That leaves on the outside looking in the only team that really had a chance to try and sneak into the playoffs, Joel and Parker. They came up 1 win short. If they had 1 more win, they would have passed Brian, and 27 points short. If they had 27 points.
Spread over a full season.
Yep. They would have
spread over a season.
Would have passed Rachel. So a tough one for Parker. It's the first time he doesn't make the championship game ever since playing.
Interesting. Does he want his own team next year?
Let's just say there are talks.
Oh, all right. I just thought maybe after this experience, it'd be like,
it's not the, like, he knows what he's doing. He's run his own team enough. He can handle it. And I think he'll be more invested if it's just his.
Okay.
And I think it's just about the financial side.
All right.
So, Tamala, Mike made reference. Anything you want to say about what you did accomplish?
This probably isn't what Skron is referring to, but if you look at my points against,
I'm going to go to it right now.
I am the only one with over 2,000 points against. And if you look at my points against compared to Casey's points for,
pretty significant.
I mean, he did not outscore my points against. So
with the number 1 most high scoring team.
Now, look, I didn't score enough points overall, so it's on me, but
it is something that we can account for, right? It's the only thing, and if anything, it is my argument for why certain things about defenses should not be played. We do not control what our opponent puts up. We cannot play defense. It is a difficult part of this. We have done such a good job of leveling the playing field for the points scored. I don't think we figured out a way to do anything about points against.
There's nothing you could do. What it would be is we could make it to where we didn't have matchups, maybe, and you could do it, right?
Essentially, Mike, that becomes almost like the Pythagorean score we had. So it's like this is the compromise. Yeah, it stinks.
Yeah.
Like it stinks, but it also maybe it levels out a little bit, like you said. But that is a tough one tomorrow. Sorry, buddy. As you noted, though, 4th lowest points 4, also not helping.
Yeah, and I mean, look, it came down to my draft.
You're rookies.
I had a couple big busts. I had a couple.
He took some big swings.
I had a couple big injuries.
Yeah, rookies.
And we'll see a ton of this on JT's year in review.
Yes, it'll be there, buddy. It'll be there.
JT, I'm not trying to hype it up or anything, but I've heard rumors that JT's already starting to take a peek around some of the numbers. That's what I've heard. And not from JT, from some other, a little birdie in my ear.
A scuttlebutt.
You know what I heard? There's going to be T-shirts this year.
What's that swearing on it? There's cuss words on it?
Do
Those
they
are my
come in a
favorite
child's
t-shirts.
large? Because if so, Vinny would like one. Tamara, I believe what Mike was referring to was the positive news for you in that by beating Michael by 10 points, you were 6 points ahead. That means that you passed Michael for 8 points.
Yep.
You avoid the pizza. You are back. There was a moment you had fallen down in the pizza zone because I was live updating this, and you passed him. You are officially out of the pizza.
So you gotta feel pretty good about that, Matt.
I mean, I do.
I mean,
Like
Matt,
I
it's
said,
not the point of paying for pizza.
I was never worried about the pizza. It was always only about the trophy, though.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
sure.
I don't want to be the one having to stand in that pizza shop and deliver it to everyone else. I wouldn't like that.
We order pizza, but I know what you mean. I do hope, though, with that in mind, that Michael, Jake obviously is a challenge, but Michael and all the rest of the guys that are around and girls that are around, let's go do what we did for the playoffs. That was really fun. I really enjoyed that, where we had an opportunity to get everyone together, and even just holding up the trophy, and you know, it didn't have to be engraved or anything like that at that point, but I think it's really nice to do it like a post-season get-together. A lot of kids came, you know, it was a good time. So I do
kind of took over like a whole little section of the bottle shop, man, or now it's a pizza place. My mistake, but
no, I think
took over our own little
it is
area.
the bottle shop there. I
Yeah.
think that's great. We do that. We go watch a game. You know, it's a Saturday night or something like that. I think that'd be really fun.
I mean,
that brings us down to our last two, and that is Michael, who got passed by Tamala. He is now locked in a ninth. He's got the pizza. And a disappointing year ends with a disappointing week. The poor guy cannot catch a break by having the first pick. And then there's Jake, who made a good run and then really fell off there for a while, and then had a great week and still lost. It wouldn't have mattered, was locked out, but the 144 at least almost got him to pass Michael, and 27 more to get to Tamala. So you were pretty safe there, buddy. But that's it. That's
all
where
right,
we are,
man.
boys.
I think it looks great, Jay.
Tamala, do you want to hit on the money report before we do our last little
All
playoff
right.
pick?
Yeah, let me pull that up.
Rather active Saturday.
All right,
1-2.
Thursday. Parker and Joel picked up Jordan Mason for $45. Only bid. They picked up Josh Depp.
Yep. Ended up doing all right for him. They were worried about Jones not playing.
Yep.
Okay.
Josh Downs for 25. Only bid.
Didn't play him.
Bam Knight for 13. Brian added the Browns D for 12. Parker and Joel tried to pick up the Browns D for 7. Scarano also tried to pick up the Browns D for 7. Casey picked up AJ Barner for 10. Scarano picked up the Commanders D for 8. JT, you picked up Hubbard for 5. JT, you picked up Fairbairn for 2. And Brian tried to claim the Chiefs D for $1. Now, we also had an offer report on Saturday. Jake picked up Devin Neal for 16.
I made him. Can I step in right there and say that I hit the wrong drop button and I accidentally dropped him when I was.
I've had that happen in another league. I've had that happen.
And then when Jake had him and he was playing against me, I was like, if I get defeated by my own idiocy, I swear.
It makes you confirm it, and you just confirm it so
I was
fast.
just
Like,
I was just going.
Like, yep, boom, boom.
I meant to hit
I've done it.
Spears. I meant to hit Spears, thought I hit Spears, was doing something else, was talking to somebody, looked down and was like, oh my God, I just dropped the guy that I wanted to keep.
See, I think if that happens, though, you text the league.
It's my own fault. I can't. You know,
As commissioner, oh boy, I don't know. I think that makes it worse.
I think if you do it right away and you're like, crap, I made a mistake. It's
Okay.
fine.
All right.
I appreciate the idea behind that. I don't know.
We'd have-
Michael
we'd have
own
to
idiocy.
vote.
Michael Thomas put in a $10 bid for him. I put an $8 bid in for him, and you had put in a $1 bid for him. Thought
Who
you'd
was
get
it?
him back.
To get him back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
didn't want to spend all my money to try and get him back. I already spent all my money on him. I couldn't do it again. I was so mad. Idiot. Oh well.
All right, man.
So, wait. So at the end of the regular season,
Uh-huh.
Brian, $0. Jake, $0.
Yeah, spend it.
Michael Thomas, $10.
Okay.
Colin and myself and UJT all have 58.
That's really weird.
Scarano, you have 75.
All right.
Casey has 84. Rachel
So
has 90.
Mm.
And Joel and Parker still have 102 after this week's spending spree.
Huh. All right.
I mean, it's
Money
still
got
going to be spent.
Money got spent. I mean, that's pretty good. That's so weird that 3 teams have $58. What a random number.
Yep.
Huh.
Almost like they're in cahoots is what it looks like to me.
I don't even know how you do that.
That's right. That's right. And you two are both one of them.
Yeah.
Shenanigans.
Clearly, the league was rigged for Tamala.
Yeah, your Neil thing didn't go that well now, did it?
Yeah. The guy in 8th and 9th place were the ones that were rigging the league. All right, Tamala, I do have a way to kind of lift your spirits a little bit here. I know that this isn't always the best. Mike, this may put a damper on things that are already pretty damp for you. Okay. But I did try and attack our playoff document in a slightly different way. As you will see in just a second when I pull it up, there is not a great deal to discuss in terms of how movement existed based on our scoring. This is a year where we can look at it and go, this is basically what would have happened anyway. So I wanted to see, are there trends that are occurring? And what I did is I broke down our season into halves. And I looked at it and said, in the first half of the year, what was the team's record and what was their average points per game? And then in the second half of the year, same amount of games, 7 games, what was the record and what was the average points scored? So before we do it, I would like you guys to tell me who had, if you, in your memory, who had the best first half of the year record?
Okay.
Brian.
You are both correct. They were tied at 6-1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who had the best points per game in the first half of the year?
Me.
Kamala?
It's either Scarano or Brian.
Okay. Good thought. It was Scarano in second place, but it was Casey.
Casey
was crushing it at the halfway point. Casey was 6-1 with 154 points a game. Mike, you were 5-2 with 149. So you were doing really, really good. Brian was also 6-1, much lower points per game. So here's where the twist comes in, right? Who do you think had the best record in the second half of the year? And I will give you a hint. There was a 3-way tie.
Casey being one.
Casey is one of them.
Okay. Colin?
No.
Okay,
Jake?
my bad.
No.
You.
Yes.
All right. Yep. You've been putting a couple wins together. Okay, so we're missing one person.
Yeah. And I think, I mean, even mine is a surprising one. This one was right along with it, though.
Rachel? Yeah, okay. Okay.
Yep.
I mean,
So
I like to think I'm actually pretty good at this.
Rachel, Casey, and I had the 5-2 record in the second half. And we also ended up with the 3 highest points per game in the second half. Of the 3, who had the highest points per game in the second half?
You.
Kamala?
Casey.
Casey was second. It was actually me.
Yep, there you go. There.
But
I get a prize for this.
you're
For
doing
how bad
good.
my team's been. I think I'm actually doing all right at this.
So what really shows up though is that there's buys, because in the second half, even though I had the highest score, I would have been 12 points behind Casey's. I would have been 7 points behind Mike's. I would have been 3 points behind Collins from the first half of the year. So there really is a difference once you get into those buys in terms of that, but a really stark change. So when you see this here, there will be greens and red color coded. The darker green and darker red means that they had a worse or better record and points in one half of the year. If there's a light green and a light red.
So if it goes to dark green to dark red, it meant it was going very well, and it's terrible. Light green to light red, it's just not quite as bad.
Not a huge difference, right?
Okay, I understand.
Right. Yep. So there you go. I'm going to pull it up for you. Take a look. Notice what you see across the top.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
3 of the 4 worst second halves were the teams that came out hot. So, Mike, you're not alone, buddy.
Yeah, it almost flipped, like it. Like
and it
you
doesn't
do
mean
well
you did
in
bad.
one, and then you.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you did bad. Like, look at Casey. He's still 5-2 with the 140. But if you compare that to his first half, it was a worse record, and it's 14 less points per game. That's significant.
It's pretty significant. 25 less points per game.
Now, I mean, there's so much to break down here. Like, Mike, you're 25 less points per game.
25 points, Maron.
Look at Brian, 21 points less per game.
Or, we were saying that he was on this like monumental skid.
Yeah, maybe one of the weirdest ones to me though. Look at Rachel. 2 less points per game, completely inverse the record.
Because her competition was scoring less?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, right? Like,
and then if you look at Joellen Parker, the exact opposite.
So you're saying like a lot of this is just what week you're falling on then, right?
I think this goes back to the idea of Tamala's points against. Because if you look at what's happening here, there's some times where it's like, oh, this makes sense. You know, like I scored more points per game, my record flipped. But there's a lot more where it's like
same amount of points, exact opposite record.
Or their points dropped or rose a lot, and the record didn't get impacted in the way we thought it would have.
It is interesting. Tamala, is it your points against? Is this it?
I mean
that's some of it, but I mean, it comes down to my points. Lamar.
Do we take a look at the grand compromise?
But honestly, I would have loved to have seen it broken up, and I understand you're not going to do it, but a third, because I mean, we look at both Jake and Michael, and they struggled in the beginning of the year. Then in the middle, they kind of both made a move. Maybe their records didn't quite show it. And then at the end of the season, they kind of tailed off again. Mm-hmm. So that would have been interesting.
I mean, no matter how many times we splice it, it will show more of the narrative. But I just love this idea because Mike was having a conversation with me when we were watching that game. And the whole thing was like, I wonder what's going on. And so Rachel mentions the buys thing, and I 100% think that's a part of it. But they start fairly early. I think
week 3, right?
Less of the first half is affected. The second half, the entire thing's affected.
Okay.
But there were only like.
So if you could put up, you're saying because of everyone's affected, you're saying if you could actually put up more points in that second half, man. I mean, it means that you're doing it with buys.
Yeah.
I mean, you're really.
There was only 3 teams that actually grew in the second half. And it's me and Jake. Jake was the huge one.
He was on a tear for a while, man. He was on a tear.
Right. Me, 7 points a game. And Tamala, you're the other one with 6 points a game. Otherwise, everybody was either exactly the same. Parker drew up 1 or less. And a lot of people scored less. 14 less, 8 less, 25 less, 21 less. Like even Rachel, 2 less. Like it is really hard, as Rachel noted, with the buys to keep that going. So the teams that really made the biggest pushes often either kind of stayed the same or actually made some growth in that second half.
It's interesting. It's very interesting. I'm a fan.
There you go. If you look over on the right-hand side, we got Casey and Colin getting the first round bye. First round matchup, me versus Brian, Mike versus Rachel. We'll talk about that in the future. Jake and Michael will 0 for pizza. Joel Parker, Tamala, Michael, and Jake are competing for not engraving in that good old $20. Michael, I believe, told me that Joel Parker and he were paid up. Tamala and Jake, I think, were the other two. Tamala, I don't know if you've done that. Just $5. Jake, if you're watching. I thought this thing on the bottom was interesting, though. I went back and looked at last year's seeding. Every single seed changed from last year. Nobody got the exact same seed they got. There are also 2 new teams that have got buys. There are 2 new teams that made it in with wins for playoffs. There's 2 new teams that made it in for points. And 3 out of the 4 teams in the constellation bracket are brand new. The only repeat there was my main man.
Oh, man, Mike.
Yeah, good old number 1 pick.
Loyal listener of the show, by the way, guys.
I hate it for him, but it is interesting. Everybody else was switching up. We all ended up in different spots. That's kind of cool.
Unbelievable. Yeah, it is strange.
Last thing I just wanted to show, whether this is a pro or a con can be left up to how you feel about it. But here's a look at last year versus this year. First of all, who was competing, who made it in. And then if, for me, look at the points. Notice the difference of the kicker.
Oh, man.
Look at the going in, look at the final. And if you do the math on it, the good kickers, they're somewhere in the area of like 150. So that makes sense.
10 points a week, yeah. 10.
And if you do the math, adding them up, we're about 140 to 150 above wherever people were.
10 points a week. It's interesting.
Yep. So that's what it's doing. It's affecting everybody equally. That's the thing that you'll say. There are still outlier games, but then there are also the dud games that exist.
Mm-hmm.
But Tamala, you snuck in last year.
Interesting. It's interesting. No 68 in that last week 14 last year. No one came anywhere near that, huh?
The what, buddy?
I'm looking at the week 14 from last year. I'm just seeing if anyone got close to like 68 or something like that.
No, the worst one was the Rachel with the 120.
Closer to 168 is what I noticed than 68.
Yeah, I mean, look, Mike, look what you did last year. 134.
Yeah, okay.
You doubled your score.
Well, thanks, Jay. Thanks. I didn't realize that. That's great, man.
All right. Well, there you go. There you go, guys. Little different breakdown.
Awesome job. Awesome job. It's I find it fascinating.
I enjoy looking at the numbers, playing around with it, getting to see if it really matches up with what we're seeing or not. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I find that the top 4 people in the league had a real swoon is interesting. Now, it's all different levels of that, but everybody did worse. And then more of the teams on the bottom really made a charge.
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
All right, man.
All right. Want to look at matchups?
So where are we going to start with this? Where do we go? Do we go to the constellation bracket?
Yeah, let's start with the constellation bracket.
Okay.
Just to clarify, let's just go over exactly how it works with the constellation bracket. There's going to be, does it come down to almost always 2 teams that are going to be 2 and 1, and then between those
the team
2
could go 3-0. Record goes first. If you get 3
go
wins,
3-0. Okay.
If you get 3 wins, doesn't matter what your points are, you go ahead and take it. But points do become the next
quite an issue
tiebreaker, and in such a small bracket like that, it very likely to play a role.
Okay.
So everybody plays everybody once,
and loser pays for the trophy.
Loser pays for the trophy.
All right. Well,
all right. So first up, I am taking on Joel and Parker. Right now, I'm projected 133 to 114, although they have to put in CMC and most likely Robinson. So they will probably be projected ahead of me.
Yeah, they don't. Their lineup isn't set.
Definitely not set. I told this to Mike. Very strange. Last week, Tamala, we were saying, at least I was saying, they were in trouble because they were missing their number 1 stud, and they were missing their very good wide receiver.
Yeah.
They put up a good score, and it had to be thanks to them having the 2 highest scoring players in all of fantasy last week. Josh Allen And like we all predicted, Michael Wilson. So if you want to go ahead and be on the lookout,
It's
Mr.
just
Wilson,
it's unbelievable.
he's been on a
I feel
tear.
that we've been like playing a little bit of a game trying to figure out guys you could get from Arizona this whole year.
Yeah,
With the
right.
Murray situation, with
DiMercado,
Harrison being out,
Bam
and stuff.
Knight, yep.
Bam Knight, every
Michael
Delmonico
Carter.
fella. I mean,
Yep.
like it's just unbelievable. And like,
Yep.
it
Now
all of a
Harrison
sudden-
comes back. Harrison comes back tomorrow, so that's good for you. But if you go back to the last 4 games, he did have one game that was a 7, but his other 3 games are a 34, a 22, and a 37. What in the
Unbelievable.
Michael Wilson is going on here?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Never a guy on my radar.
Nope.
So it's a great one. Look,
Right,
I
little caveat there. How are you feeling tomorrow?
especially in the consolation bracket. I'd even take a flyer on him. I'd put him in my last select. See what happens, man.
Look, I don't feel great. I mean, I haven't felt great about my team for weeks.
And the 20
Do you put
points
Hampton back
for Lamar Jackson. Really?
Are you putting Hampton in?
Probably not. I'll probably
Ooh, to be turned there at the end.
I'll probably put Jennings back in.
I'll say this much. There hasn't been too much of a run game for the Chargers, and it is something that they really need, considering that their quarterback is like beat to hell at this point. And
I
you'd
mean,
like to think that if they could, they would. We should get a trade going. I'd trade you Vidal too.
the Chiefs have a pretty good D.
Okay.
They do.
So
They're on the road. We'll see.
Yeah.
all right. Next up, we have Jake taking on the Michael Thomas. Michael's projected to win 133 to 118. And let's
Higgins
see.
is out.
Is he?
He's listed as 0. I don't know where he is in the concussion protocol or any of that stuff.
As somebody that watched that game, what in the world?
Yeah, he was back on the field. Like his
dude
head hit
came
the
up,
ground.
grabbed his head, was like, "Oh, my head." And they're like, "Let's run a check. You're good."
So
And then
now,
by the end of the game, they're like,
comes back
"Ooh."
again.
And then
But
he hit his
now-
head again. I'm kidding.
Michael has some interesting choices to make. I mean, does he put Godwin in? Does he put Mbuka in?
I think I'd vote yes for Mbuka.
Woody Marks questionable, Brees Hall questionable, Marvin Harrison questionable. He's got 3 guys that could be injured.
So these choices might be made for him, is what you're saying.
Now, Scarano, these are Mbuka's last couple weeks. 3.5, 8.2, 6.2, 9,
23.
23.5. Yeah.
Not good. Not good. If you would have asked me to look at it blindly, I would have guessed far more points than that.
I think my guy hit the rookie wall, and I think my guy realized why rookie wide receivers are not the number 1 option. Like he was dominating when
He was real good.
There was Bucky Irving playing, there was Mike Evans playing, there was Chris Godwin playing, and then he looked great because he was the number 3. He's going to be good. I don't know if he was ready for the number 1 role.
He might. I mean, with all these questionables, he might just have to slide one in. Anyway, might not have a choice.
Well, I
He's
mean,
got-
if
he's
it's
gotta be
questionable,
happy.
But if they're not, if they all play, I mean, they're all projected higher.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got to be happy with Burrow being back, but very weird that Chase had such a down week.
Yeah.
And has not scored a touchdown with Burrow yet.
In a
That's kinda
high-scoring
odd.
game. I mean, just to
Kind of odd.
a little
They're
bit
first
strange.
with the number 1 pick.
I mean, play him.
If Kamara plays, does he switch him out for Neal?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
I
don't
vote
think
yes.
he- I don't think he
I'm
plays
gonna
Neal.
check, and we're gonna see. Non-participant in practice, though, just to clarify.
A-Chain looks like he's going to be okay too, and that's a huge one for Jake.
Okay. All right.
All right.
He went out
On
in
to
the
the,
second
on to the
half,
real
right?
deal tomorrow.
All right. First up, matchup of the week.
Oh, he said. Oh, she's saying it. I was going to say that I'm not sure that our matchup is the matchup of the week. I thought
think
it
it
might
is.
be JT and Brian.
No, I think yours is.
I think it might be JT and Brian,
Nope.
considering
All right.
just the skid I'm on. Okay, let's talk about it, guys.
Rachel is taking on Scarano, and right now she's projected to win 139 to 128.
My performance is starting to actually reflect in the projections at this point.
I think she's got a mess at quarterback.
Okay. I mean, do I have any quarterback? No.
Yeah, I mean, I know they're playing the Browns, but
Yeah, I don't know. They're at home. Maybe if the weather's bad or something like that. Listen. I just at this point I'm just kind of down on this team, and I'm still gonna play. I'll still make waiver claims. I'll still be a full participant. I'm not that guy, but like sorry, I don't see myself winning. That's all.
Wow.
It's terrible. I know, Jay. You're gonna say I shouldn't think like this. I shouldn't be that guy. But after putting up that 68 thing, I wish
Listen,
I could.
I realize you've had a bad stretch, and it's completely fair to be a little down on your team. You and I have talked about the reasons why that might be the case, but all it takes is like an explosion game from one of these guys, a good comeback game from your quarterback. You know, Rachel definitely has some quarterback questions. The Arizona one is a tough call. They're going against a great defense. Her other quarterback is also going against a really good defense and might be 44 years old and a grandpa. So, like, there's all kinds of.
I mean, look, that's where it needs to come from. It's going to need to come from that top of the line. Your Taylor and Jefferson. That's really when you really want to look at what's happened to my team. Just take a look right there at where they were and how they've been doing lately. I mean, you can't have Jefferson putting up single digits for 2 weeks in a row here. And then I'm going to lose.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I think Rachel does have the advantage for sure. But
Sure.
We've just seen.
She's the projected favorite. She's the projected favorite. Cuzzy, I'll bet you next time we meet, whether it's at the pizza shop, something like that, we'll put a cold beer on it. How about that?
I thought you weren't a betting guy.
I'm not a betting man. We'll pretend. We'll pretend. I really won't. You know, we'll put a cold beer on it. That's all.
All right.
All right.
Any thoughts? If you're still watching, how are you feeling? What are you going into? What is your biggest worry? Maybe you don't want to share.
Because you got to feel pretty good. You got to feel pretty good. Playing me in this.
More so than Rachel. I want to hear what Brian thinks. What does Brian think about this matchup?
Why do you want to hear what he has to say about this?
Or do you want to hear about what he has to say about his match?
What's Rachel going to say? That I think Scarano's going to win? No,
I don't think. I think Rachel absolutely would back herself if she feels like she's going to win. She doesn't have any trouble.
How well Adams has been lately, I'd have no problem. If I were in her position, I'd talk some smack.
Ooh, like it. All right.
All right.
We move on to the next matchup.
Next matchup, JT, you are taking on Brian. You're projected to win 149. What a projection to 135. Now you are playing the Patriots quarterback against the Bills. Can you call yourself a real Buffalo fan?
Yeah. I'll make do. They're going to score, but they're going to score. I'm never a believer in the idea that me benching them. I believe it is tough to have to root for it. So yes. I hate that aspect of it. I'll root for, as Rachel has noted at times, like I'll root for a great one where they get their butts kicked and put up a 4, and then the rest of my players dominate, and I'll be fine with that. But I can't trust the Buccaneers quarterback.
No,
they've been so bad. He's had one good game in the last 7 weeks. He's been a 12, a 4, a 17, a 7, a 15, a 12. And then they snuck 126 in there. And that's it. I just can't trust it. I know he gets his weapons back. I can't believe that he's not hurt. I can't believe that he's not dealing with like a shoulder injury of some kind or something, because he started out so good. So I hate it.
Doesn't he have a strained AC joint?
Probably. Yeah.
So there's a contributing factor.
Yeah. I mean, but I haven't played him. I haven't played him other than when I had to last week with a bye. I haven't played him in 10 weeks. So I wouldn't. Listen.
I think you're making the right choice in a fantasy.
Bills above all. If the
Yeah, I
Bills
agree.
win and I lose my playoff matchup, I will be happy with that. But it is still going to be me putting in the best chance to win.
Jamal, you play guys against the Eagles?
Yeah.
Well, there you are.
Mike, you know what's interesting is like you were riding the Indianapolis train, and there was
Yes.
obviously a great start, and that you kind of cratered when they
Sure.
went down too. If you look, what I have was great with was Seattle, grabbing JSN
Yes.
as a I think he was a 3rd round pick for me for the number 1 receiver, and then the Seattle defense, which has just been monstrous.
Dominant.
Absolutely monstrous.
Dominant.
Waiver wire
Yep.
claim, and they've just been so good. They have not given up a touchdown the last 2 weeks.
And they've been winning.
Listen, CD might be out. I do have a backup plan. I do believe Watson has proven that he's ready to step in. Rodriguez has not looked bad. I picked up Chuba for a reason. He's kind of taken over the number 1 role. And I have Mike Evans, who is coming back. He's coming back. So if I have to, I want CD to be the guy. No question, he's better than all those guys. But my bench is suddenly looking a little better and a little deeper. If there is,
I think Watson would take that spot. I don't know. You don't
Watson.
have to listen to me.
You may not know though. You may not know before the 4:30 games.
All right.
Yeah, you will. I 100% think I will. That's not gonna. There's no game time where he has to go out and warm up. He either has clearance or he doesn't.
Practice in limited capacity.
You're just messing with me, Tamale. That's not how the concussion protocol works.
They're not going to be like a rain up parade. I'll tell you that much.
They're not going to go like, oh, let's see how his head's doing. Brian has been in a swoon, but I never go against any team and look at them and go, oh, they're bad, because they're just not. Saquon could burst one just like he did the other night at any time. Metcalf is always a big play guy. Bucky being back with all the weapons, I think, is huge. Debo, I think, does get hurt a little bit, as does Commander's QB with the news that Daniels is not going to play. He might make a switch there. He's got a couple other quarterbacks. I would not be surprised to see either one of those guys possibly get in there. He does have 3 other defenses to play too, so that's good.
It's nice to see that we have the defense.
I'm sure he's going to make
there.
Really I don't know. I look at his team. It's a good team. His projection may change as he adds in some other guys. I don't know.
I like that you're not calling any wins here, Jay.
Not be surprised at all if he beats me.
You're not pointing to the fences or anything.
Never. Dude, my team's been good lately, but my team has been awful for many weeks.
All right, man.
But trying to keep a repeat going. If I win,
and, playoff, and anyone, by the way, not that it's going to be me, but it might be. Playoff losers, we're going to have to come up with some type of, side bet here. Oh, yeah.
For me, as much as I do want to beat Brian and win an event, absolutely. But the biggest one for me was I would go on to play Casey, and I would very much like to be the one to knock him out.
Oh,
if not, I'll be rooting very hard for Brian.
It would make my day.
I will root for Brian very hard if he beats me.
Okay. So, yes, you would go to the top. Okay, I got it. Yep.
Yeah.
I got it. Yep. You would go to the top rank. Yep.
Yeah, so awesome. You'll play against Colin.
All right. Oh, that's always good for me.
The nemesis.
Always good. We've developed a rivalry at this point. I mean, anytime Colin and I, potential game of the week right there.
Here we go, boys. It is.
All right, guys.
Excellent. And the sad thing is the season really starts to wind down now.
It does.
It's just not the same.
And, I mean, it's not the same. Don't remember the Mike's Crown Playoff Challenge will always be. We'll be ready to go on that. JT does the Super Bowl.
There's always that as well.
JT does the Super Bowl. I do the playoffs. It's fine.
There you go. We got to keep it going as long as we can.
I'm sure we'll come up with some other asimine way to gamble. There it is.
You're a gambling guy.
Good luck, everyone.
All right, guys.
And we will see you next week.
I'll see everyone later. Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Welcome to the Fantasy Trail. Kickers are back, quarterbacks in the league. Fantasy Trail. Join us every Wednesday, 9 o'clock, on YouTube and Spotify.